Hi, everyone. I'm Connie Myers. I am the founder and president for Crisis Knowledge Management and Preparedness Foundation. I was a FEMA inspector and trainer for 7 years, did over 50 disasters myself, and trained thousands of inspectors. And what I can tell you is I know exactly what happens, not just to communities, but to families and especially kids once a disaster strikes. And as a FEMA inspector, I wrote a book called When the Unthinkable Happens, Be Prepared, Be Ready, that dives deep into what you need to do to have plans and that sort of thing. But I was speaking at a National Natural Disaster Expo a few years ago, and a woman walked up to me afterwards and she said, "You need to be a nonprofit and you need to work with kids." So I went back to my booth and I said, "We're applying for our 501c3, and our goal is going to be to protect kids." The conversation went from them thinking I'm trying to sell them something because I was offering an education, a certification on becoming a community leader, knowledgeable about how being prepared and how to recover from disasters. It went from that to how can I be involved? I want to participate. I want to protect the kids in my community. I want to protect my kids. So that's how BePreparedBeReady.org was formed. And that is how this kit, this Kits for Kids, came to be. So I'm going to go through this a little bit with you, but I want to start out by telling you the why. So 76% of parents are worried about their kids' fears, anxiety, depression, potential suicide. 75% of kids are worried about their futures. Is there going to be a planet they're going to live on? Are they going to get shot? Are they going to be bullied? Are they going to be harassed online? Are they going to be able to go to school? Are they going to be able to get a job? Even young girls are deciding whether or not they're going to have children or not because they're so worried about the future. These are all really critical things that my kids and my grandkids certainly never had to worry about. The mental health people say the best way to overcome all of those fears and anxiety is to empower kids, to have them, let them have a voice in what their future is going to look like. So that is what the Kits for Kids is all about, as well as we have an ambassador program for 12 to 18-year-olds called Young Voices Big Impact, where we're going to show kids how to be community leaders at a very young age. And just imagine the kind of leaders they'll be when they finally become adults and out of school or whatever it is they're going to do. So let's take a minute and let's go through the kit itself. The first thing and the most important thing in the entire kit is this. It's called organization called Risk Alert. It is a tracker that will track where the child is, so the parents can track to make sure they're okay. But also it will alert. They alert everything from terrorist attacks to abductions. So they will alert the child as well as the family or the authorities if there's something going on. So this is invaluable, and all of us should have this. The second thing, most kits just have first aid stuff in it. Well, the bandages and all of that. Well, this is a product that's been out for a couple of years called Bleed Stop. It's an amazing product. It will stop everything from a small cut to a major wound. And this is also something you could have in your uh, medicine cabinet. We have a sanitizer bottle. Now, there's nothing in it because some schools don't allow rubbing alcohol in sanitizer. So the person can put in, the parents can put in whatever is right for their child. We also have a 12-hour glow stick. And so this will stay lit and provide light. There's also, it may look tiny, but let me tell you what, very loud. So a whistle, and then we have a Mylar blanket that will keep them warm and dry if necessary. And we have a N95 mask in case there's toxins or gases or smoke. We also have, this is the Velcro. It gets Velcroed into the bottom of the kid's everyday backpack. So it goes to school, the playground, activities, wherever that backpack goes, this goes. And it gets Velcroed into the bottom so that it's not played with. And we try to make it as innocuous as possible to make sure that it doesn't look like a toy. And they get education around this as well. Then we have, I'll do this next. This is emergency numbers. So this is on the top, it has the poison hotline, which also takes care of drug overdoses, as well as the suicide hotline. And then they can put phone numbers and important numbers for them personally on this. And then we have this was a young person, I think she was 12, told us we needed to have a fidget toy. And I didn't know what a fidget toy was, but then there's a woman who in the mayor's office here in Las Vegas, her name is Dr. Tammy Malish. And I went to her office to visit with her. She's the Youth Development and Innovation Director. And she had them all over her desk. And so they're to keep your hands busy if you're nervous or scared or that sort of thing. And then, last but not least, this looks like a ponytail band. And why do you think this might be in there? Well, I was doing an event for a Girl Scout troop that was 5 to 10 years old, and we had everything out, and I had the girls explain why each thing was in the kit, and I saved this for last. And I asked everybody, so we all know this is a ponytail band, but why do you think it's in our safety kit? And this little young girl, she was teeny tiny, she was Asian, teeny tiny little girl with a really small voice. And she kind of raised her hand and she says, well, if my girlfriend is bleeding, that might help stop the bleeding. She couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old. I was so excited. It was just like, yes, 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 yes. So all of these things go into the backpack. And when there is a disaster, everything comes out of their everyday backpack and goes into an emergency kit, which we also have in here. You have a list of everything that goes into a kid's emergency backpack and suggestions, as well as there is another thing for the risk alert and a digital copy of my book called When the Unthinkable Happens, Be Prepared, that outlines everything parents and people need to know to be well prepared, well planned, and know what to do to survive and recover, including financial information. So it comes out of the everyday backpack and goes into the emergency backpack. So that is what is in the kit. And we're already seeing the results, the responses the kids are getting, like these little girls. I had them put everything in the kit themselves. I took everything out and had them put it in. And that was on a Friday, and on Monday morning, they all brought their backpacks to school, and they all showed the teacher that they had their safety go kits in it. It already had made a difference. So, uh, if you have children, if you have grandchildren or nieces or nephews, we all know somebody. The one thing we can all agree on, there's not a lot of things we can agree on these days, but one of them is protecting our kids. So if you want more information about the kits, how to get the kits, you go to bepreparedbeready.org. If you want to make a donation, you can do that. You can also buy tickets that will also purchase kits for you. The pricing is all in there. So go there and help us out. Also, if you are someone that would like to sponsor the Kits for Kids, I'm working in partnership with Kiwanis. They do they're just an amazing organization. They have things for elementary school, middle school, high school, and even college. And we've partnered up with them to bring together the Kits for Kids. That was a component they didn't have. We also have an ambassador program called Young Voices Big Impact, where we're asking kids 12 to 18 years old to submit a 1-minute video about why they want to be the Kits for Kids spokesperson in their community. We'll choose a boy and a girl as a top boy and girl in their community ambassadors. However, what do we have now? We have an army of kids that have said they want to be involved and participate, which is exactly what the mental health people say needs to happen. So if you want to join us in your community, if you know somebody in Kiwanis, please reach out to us. We would love to talk with them. And if you want to make a donation, that would be absolutely beautiful. If we'd like to find a way of us collaborating or providing a sponsorship in your community or with the organization, please reach out. Again, my name is Connie Myers. The website is bepreparedbeready.org. And my telephone number is 503-805-6621. Thank you. And any questions or anything like that, just reach out to us. We would love to have you help us. Thanks. Bye.